Welcome back, everybody. Andre with Eagle Express. Want to answer a couple of questions today that everybody keeps asking daily, all day long, on a daily basis, every single day. Is now a good time to buy a van? Is now a good time to get into the business? I've already touched on this subject about a month ago, maybe a little more. And still to this day, the answer is yes, but only for a few, and no for the most. I'll explain this because you have to be, right now to get into this, you have to be either financially set, which if you're financially set, really, then you must be retired. And if you're retired and got nothing to do, you're bored, then maybe this is why you're going to be doing this. Otherwise, if you're in the market to go and make some really good money, you want to be free, you want to have the ability to be an owner-operator and, work whenever you want to, take time off whenever you want to. You want to make the most of it while you're on the road. Right now, honestly, is not a great time for that. The rates are still down there. I mean, our guys are still moving. We're still, our drivers, they're not as bad as some of the stories I've been hearing from others because they do chit-chat here and there, throughout the truck stops and stuff like that. They do chit-chat with other drivers that are out there, not from our company, but others, in the field. And they're chit-chatting and, they're saying people are sitting around and waiting for those loads for like 7 days plus. Can you imagine waiting for a load for 7 days? That's insane. That's insanity. Shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? Well, could be a factor of the rates with that company that they're working with. If, that driver's being promised $1 a mile and that company's bidding $1 a mile and then throwing something on top, well, guess what? They're not going to get that much freight unless they're in an area where there's nobody else in there, or everybody's left and really they're the only truck there, and then maybe they're just bound to pay whatever they're asking for it. Otherwise, it's not happening, because to be able to be moving right now, and especially out of some areas, 70 cents a mile, could be even cheaper. Out of most areas, which are decent, 80, maybe 85 cents a mile, but average is about 80 cents a mile, average pay. So you gotta really rethink of your strategy, how you're doing this, because if you want to keep moving, our driver's gonna make a whole lot of money, even at 80 cents a mile, versus the driver that's sitting there trying to get more per mile, and he's waiting a whole week for one load. Even if you wait a half a week for one load, that's insane, because a good driver can clear 1,000 plus miles. Some can even do 1,300 miles in 24 hours. So it all depends, I'm serious, on what your dispatch is doing for you and how they're bidding those loads and what kind of rates they're bidding at. And it's no trick, no secret, nothing hidden about this, that there is less freight. A lot of it gets quoted, and then most of it goes LTL, because LTL goes for literally, I don't know, maybe an eighth of the price, maybe even a tenth of the price of expediting, because to ship a pallet cross country right now, you can do that for $200 to $400, depending on the size of it. Can you imagine that? Shipping a pallet for a couple $100, doing an LTL versus expediting. Yeah, you're going to get it there fast, but problem is nobody wants to pay that, and it's a big price difference of getting, say, $1 a mile. You're going cross country 2,000 miles. Well, that customer's more than likely paying $2,000 to ship that. Maybe even more, depending on what broker's charging for that load. We charge what we charge. Well, we got to pay the driver what they want to get paid, which is, to be moving an average, we'll call it an average, 80 cents a mile. And then we got to make something, so we throw on top of that, because nobody wants to work for free. Broker is throwing something on top of that. So in the end, customers paying $1 a mile, maybe even more, who knows? Maybe around $1 a mile. That's usually the going rate right now for the customer, for a broker's customer. So if you're over that, you're having a tough luck moving, really tough luck. And if your dispatch is, slacking off, not working, you're also going to have a hard time moving. And like I said, it's no secret. Things are still, they haven't picked up. And honestly, I think they're still going to get worse. Maybe, October, November, December, probably going to get worse. People are holding on to their money. They don't want to spend. It's no secret. A lot of companies are going out of business, closing down. The smaller ones, they're having a real hard time loading people, and so on and so forth. We're still surviving. We're still going. Our drivers are still moving. You can talk to any of the drivers that work with Eagle, and they're still moving. We've been around long enough that we've created a really good impression, and not just an impression. We've proven over all these years of what we can do and what we can't do. And there's certain loads out there that don't even hit the load boards that we get calls for first. And sometimes they deadhead. Sometimes we deadhead drivers even 1,300 miles, and all those miles are paid. I'm not saying every single load does that. Sometimes we'll get into a place and yes, could be sitting a day with no load, could be sitting a half a day, could be sitting 2 days maybe maximum with no load. But we try our best to move everybody. And because we do specialty loads that owner of the company has put his heart and soul into it and everything they can, and same with dispatch, to put our name out there, and people know exactly what we do, that we're going to get it done no matter what. The drivers that drive, they get it done no matter what. No whining. We'll just get it done. You know what I mean? And that's what people are looking for. I know sometimes things are tight. Sometimes things are tough. Sometimes it's cheaper than maybe somebody would like it to be as far as driver pay, but at least we're moving. Other people, they're not moving. And when they're not moving, they're not making anything. We're still surviving. We will survive. We'll pull through. In the good times, we were smart enough to save money, put money away, so we will pull through. And same with the good drivers. In the good times, if you were driving in 21, 22, you guys know that things were great back then. Loads were paying very well. Everybody was super busy. People were making 6 figures a year, no problem. The ones that were, not slacking off, and the ones that were driving around. So everybody was doing great. Right now, if you're not one of the retirees that's just, looking for something to do, looking for something to pass by time, you want to see the country finally, maybe it's something on your bucket list that you want to go and visit every state in the nation a couple of times or more, so on and so forth. Yes, this could be for you. But if you're somebody who's trying to make money, feed the family, you're already, in a tight spot, tough situation now, and then you're borrowing money, either from friends, from the bank, from family members, it doesn't matter, and you're trying to get into this, I would say still hold off. Do whatever you can, just don't jump into that debt. Hold off on buying a brand new van if you're trying to be an owner-operator. Hold off on even buying a used van unless it's like a, once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunities and you got the cash to buy it and somebody's just selling a really good deal. Sometimes people can get that, and I'm still on the lookout for those kind of deals. I'll buy it. If it's a deal, I'll still pick it up and I'll have it just sitting there for a backup. That's no problem. I'll buy vehicles as long as the deal is good. But if you're going and paying premium price for that van, don't do it. Because still, things are not that great. I'm not bragging that we're making tons of money and our drivers are driving around, and they're driving and keeping busy and nobody else is. That's not the case. Yes, times are still slower and they're still slow. And I personally, I don't recommend getting into the business now. Even with us, it doesn't matter who you go with, another company, it doesn't even matter. I would still hold off. This is real video from a real time. Today is what? The 15th? August 15th? Just so you guys know, 2023. So nobody gets confused with what the times are. Times are not that great. Semi-world is suffering too. Semi-truck companies, they're closing down as well. Production companies are closing down. Things in the world are chaotic. People don't have peace of mind, peace of anything. So, things are happening. Things are happening, not for the good. So, but it's the end times. The Bible says it's the end times, guys. What are you going to do? All we can do is pray in the morning, pray in the evening, at least 2 times a day, and, ask God for guidance, for help, and those who follow, God will take care of them. God will provide no matter what. So I wish you guys the best of luck in everything, no matter what you do. If you're really stubborn and you're saying that you're going to get the things done, and you're stubborn, still going into debt, and you want to do it your way, I guess you can go do it your way, but just know that it's not the best time. Right now is not the best time. I wouldn't do it. If it was me and I was looking around, watching for information, searching the web, watching what people think, and taking advice from others, I would take the advice not to get into the business. I mean, current situation, there's nothing really bad happening and nothing really worse that's happening since like the beginning of summer or since, springtime. Nothing worse has happened, but things are still not getting any better either. There's still a lot of competition out there. There's still, shippers are still trying to adjust to the loads. Brokers are trying to adjust to the rates as well, so they can actually win that freight. Maybe it's time to, not skin the cat so much. Not the whole cat, but maybe, maybe the ears and maybe the face, not all the way down to the tail. So, things are moving, things are slowly moving, but it's not the time yet. I would say if you can hold off, if you have something else to do, if you can hold on to your money a little longer, if you are holding on, do that and hold it. Maybe hopefully fall time, maybe winter time, maybe that will be the time to move. But my prediction, I can't predict anything 100%, but what I think is a lot more people are still going to drop the business. There's a lot of competition. Market is way oversaturated with drivers. It's oversaturated with drivers as far as semi-trucks, box trucks, sprinters, it doesn't matter. Things were doing so great that everybody hopped into the business and they were making good money. And now things are, gotten back to normal as far as, the want and need of drivers. But the problem is the fuel. Fuel is very high. Insurance is high. Expenses are high. Food is very expensive. Rent is expensive. Mortgages are expensive. Everything is overinflated. So, and the freight is not moving at a higher rate. The prices of, rates per mile are still dropping. They haven't gotten any better. So all that considered, it's not the best time to pull the trigger and get into the business. You guys can take my advice, or you guys can do it your way. Whatever you want to do, just know that I am sincere in everything I say, every single word. And I wish you guys, everybody, the best of luck. And God bless you guys and all of your, entrepreneur doings, thoughts, and everything that you want to do. I know everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to have the freedom to take time off, to be their own, entity, to be able to work whenever they want to be able to take time off whenever they want to. And that is the best freedom that an owner-operator can have at any point, as long as you don't have a freight in the back of the van. Guess what? You're free. If you deliver, you don't want to move on anymore, you want to take time off, that's fine. You just can contact any dispatch you have. As long as you're the owner-operator, I'm sure every company, that's what we do. If a driver wants time off, he gets time off, or she. It doesn't matter. So that's the freedom of being your own boss, your own self, because in the end, you're the one who decides when you want to work and when you don't want to work. You deliver a load, you're tired, you want to take the rest of the day off, great, take it off. You deliver somewhere where you want to hang out with family, friends, other people, go ahead, take time off, hang out. it's all up to you. You're the one that's making the decision in the end. So God bless you guys. Take care. Hopefully that answers some of your questions.